Today, we're looking at this TF2 Iceberg, and I'm going to explain as well as I possibly can each of these points. I've been playing since the free-to-play update and have around 5,000 hours on TF2, and I still didn't know a ton of these, so I put some research in to explain them. And heads up, a lot of these aren't even real things, or I couldn't find anything on them. Whoever made this iceberg just started making things up by the end. Let's get into it. Crouch jumping allows the player to jump higher by crouching and jumping at the same time. Kill streaks are when you get multiple kills in the same life. There are also kill streak weapons that track these and can give special effects dependent on how many kills you've got in that life. TELEFRAGGING is when you kill an enemy by using a teleporter and teleporting into them. This will even kill Ubered players. Class tokens are tokens symbolizing each class. They can be used to craft items specific to that class. Aimbot is a type of cheat that automatically aims and fires at the enemy. Random crits are present in casual mode. Depending on the amount of damage you've done in the past 30 seconds, you have a chance to randomly crit on your attack. Demoman is an old meme about a demo knight with a pan wearing a stout shako. He was a popular Freak Fortress 2 mod boss, which is an offshoot of Versus Saxton Hale mode. He tries to sell you a stout shako for 2 refined metal. His rage would cover the entire screen in trade offers, which couldn't be declined or accepted, blinding the mercenaries that are trying to fight him. Updated localization files. Almost every TF2 update is this nowadays, instead of an actual content update. This just means they improved the game for other languages, whether that be voice lines, text in game, or something else. Lit HUNTSMAN arrows. Using the flamethrower, the righteous bison, or a world fire on certain maps, you can light a huntsman arrow on your sniper's huntsman. This will cause the arrow to deal fire damage when it hits the enemy. UBERCHARGES. After the medic has fully filled his UBERCHARGE meter, he can right click to make him and his healing target invincible for 8 seconds. Now moving down a row. Teletrapping is when an enemy player of a specific teleporter sits at a teleporter exit to kill whoever uses it and comes through. 24 plus player limit. The player limit can be modded to 32 on community servers. Random spread. Certain weapons have random shot spread on casual servers, such as the scatter gun. Certain weapons also have random shot spread even with random spread turned off, like the minigun. Bot trading. Certain websites allow you to trade with bots to receive items you've purchased or just to trade items. 20 seconds respawn. On certain game modes and maps, your respawn will be 20 seconds, usually on the defending team. One of these maps would be Dust Bowl, for instance. Scrap banking is a process where a player trades 2 weapons for a scrap metal. This can be done in-game if the weapons are the same already, so some services take this a step beyond and collect tens of thousands of weapons so that they have duplicates of every weapon. Some may also sell these weapons at a scrap each in order to make a profit. Rollouts are specific, extremely fast rocket jump or sticky jumping paths that can be used to get to the front lines as fast as possible. CROCKETS are critical rockets. Half-Life2.exe is the name of TF2's executable. This is because TF2 started as a Half-Life 2 mod. SPINBOTS are an advanced hack which causes the hacking individual to spin in circles, scanning for players to headshot instantly with aimbot. This also makes them harder to headshot as their arms almost completely guard their head all the time. Heavy is Dead could be referring to this incredibly popular video by Dlac with 15 million views, or any other number of things. It's also a popular meme within the TF2 community to follow the line, "Heavy is dead," with the death music from Left 4 Dead 2. Trick stabs are when a spy tricks you into showing your back to him within melee range, which they will then use to instantly kill you with a backstab. Hateism. All I can find on this is an old TF2 subreddit post with a meme with the soldier in a sunflower. Make of that what you will, I don't know what to say. Spaghetti code refers to how TF2's code base resembles a pile of spaghetti instead of working properly or being coded in any way that makes sense. This is mainly because the game has been in development since 1998 and the coders keep adding code on top of old code until no one can understand it anymore. Backcapping. On maps with 2 or more points, it's common to kill the entire enemy team as you cap the first point. This leaves the second point open for some time to cap before the defending team respawns. So a scout or spy may already be there by the time the first cap is captured from the attacking team, and then they'll capture the second point before the defending team respawns, which will instantly win the round, successfully backcapping. Friendlies are players who aren't fighting. Oftentimes they will play heavy and throw sandwiches to players on the other team to heal them. They will also get really mad at you in chat when you kill them for the boost to your random crit multiplier, which is pretty funny. Conch, Black Box, Immortality. The Conjurer is a secondary for Soldier, which heals the soldier over time and allows him to build up a rage that lets him use an effect that heals him and his nearby teammates for damage done, along with providing the whip speed boost. The Black Box is a rocket launcher that heals for damage done. Due to the immense self-healing this kit gives the soldier, some think this kit makes them immortal, even though the kit itself is objectively bad. It's really good when the enemy team isn't organized, such as in casual lobbies though. Bison is still broken. The Righteous Bison is broken in a bunch of ways, one of which is on certain maps you can't shoot through massive areas because the Bison collides with invisible collision boxes. DX level stands for Direct X level. It's a setting people use to increase FPS, which may harm visual fidelity. C-tapping is an advanced trick for rocket and sticky jumping, where the player tricks the game into thinking they are crouching at the moment they jump while they're actually standing. This slightly increases speed over regular crouch jumping while rocket jumping. It's pretty difficult to pull off consistently at all times, but most pros can do it. Surf rumors. I found this old thread, which this may be referring to, from 2008, that surfing wasn't possible in TF2, unlike Counter-Strike Source. However, it has always been in the game. Surfing is where you fall down on a slope and use the game's gravity to speed yourself up. Transparent view models. These are modded view models that let you see through your gun. They're great, and I am using them right now in this background footage. Would highly recommend. UBERCHARGE guaranteed crits. Random crits don't impact all weapons the same. Melee weapons specifically have a higher chance to random crit, up to 60% if the player has done 900 damage in the past 30 seconds. Medic also gains random crit chance for assist damage, which is any damage his healing target is currently doing. Usually, medics heal the best player on their team, so they have this 60% crit chance at all times, making UBERCHARGE random crits feel guaranteed. Same goes for all melee reskins because they are usually owned by more experienced players who will do more damage. DEGROOT Keep Ravine Safe Spot. If you go across the river on DEGROOT Keep in the ravine, you can sit there safely. There's no void death box. Configs. These are mods that change many settings at the same time, oftentimes textures and the heads-up display of the game. I'm using multiple configs in this footage. Pyro is a woman. There's a conspiracy theory that Pyro isn't a man because, well, we can't even check to see if he's a man. He's masked all the time. Engineer's missing hitbox. A bunch of the classes have holes in their hitboxes, which I believe this is referring to. Spies and engineers are the most atrocious. Strange Sharp Dresser. The Strange Sharp Dresser isn't supposed to be an item that exists, but there are rumors of a bugged one out there, similar to how there are vintage earbuds which sell for 700 keys. Flying Scouts. Using the soda popper, Scout can basically fly due to the 5 mid-air jumps it grants. Quick Play. Back before the Meet Your Match update, Valve servers were played through Quick Play. You'd hit the button and a list of nearby Valve servers with players already in them or newly starting lobbies would pop up, any of which you could join instantly, and your friends could join you instantly through the friends list if there was a slot. It was a much better system, and the majority of veteran players want it back. Shortstop Fast Reload Script. There used to be a glitch where players would bind mouse 1 to mouse 1 and plus reload. This would cause weapons to reload faster, especially the shortstop, which reloaded almost instantly. It was removed from the game in 2015. Bots have to pretend they don't see disguised spies. Valve bots have a tendency to look at you when you infiltrate their lines as a disguised spy, and they don't do anything about you. They can tell you're a spy, they just coded not to do anything about it. Flying payload carts. Sometimes the game bugs out and the carts will fall off their tracks. Oftentimes when you push them after this, they will either return to the tracks or just fly away. Moving down a level again. Bots made by Blizzard. I had to censor their names because this would get the YouTube video removed. This is a conspiracy theory that Blizzard was running the bots that are destroying TF2 in order to make Overwatch more popular. Bleed was immune to health kits. Bleed wasn't stopped by health kits in much older versions of TF2. Christmas exclusive cosmetics. Some cosmetics can only be found from Christmas exclusive crates. Due to how deep down this is in the iceberg, I presume this means something else, but I can't find anything. Comment below if you know what this is. Uncraftable metal. There used to be a bug that caused players to craft uncraftable refined metal from other metals. This would cause it to be unusable in crafting and effectively useless, although you could still trade it and it'd effectively be worth the same amount because people use it as a display of value. Iron Bomber is a straight upgrade. The Iron Bomber's pill is way bigger than all the other pills and is extremely similar to the stock grenade launcher. It would be stupid to use the stock grenade launcher as iron bombs are just way easier to hit. Overall, it's just a way better weapon. Trimping. By combining shield charging as a Demoman with surfing, you can use the momentum to fly throughout maps super fast. Upward is specifically good for this. Fat Scout meta. This is a meme about heavies with shotguns being good. They aren't, so it is a hee hee hoo hoo ha ha funny meme. 3D sprays. In TF2's olden days, sprays were enabled by default. Certain sprays would try to trick the player into looking at them for a long time, some of the worst of which were these hallucination sprays that would kill your eyes, and I'd imagine that's what he means by 3D sprays. These were often used by spies to trick enemy players into getting distracted so they could easily be backstabbed. It was also common for people to use sprays of naked women to distract their opponents for easy killings, which is why sprays are off by default now. Railways connect all maps. I believe this is a theory that all the payload maps connect to one another in game lore. I don't know. Market Gardener Bunny Hop Criticals. The Market Gardener guarantees a critical hit while the soldier is in the air after rocket jumping. Because of the game's spaghetti code, if you B-hop immediately after landing, you will still have guaranteed crits, making it much easier to get Market Gardener kills. Infected sprays. There was a bug that allowed any server with sprays enabled to spread any file to players who played on those servers. This resulted in malware being spread on those servers to people who played on those servers. I don't know how this bug possibly came into the game, but it was fixed relatively quickly. Upgraded minis. There was a bug that allowed a player to turn normal sentries into miniature versions by swapping to the gunslinger in very specific ways. These sentries had all the upsides of a mini sentry, like building fast, and the upsides of a regular sentry, and were almost impossible to beat. They were just so strong. Delphi popularized this bug, along with tons of other bugs in TF2 history. Trading botnet. There's a ton of things this could be referring to. I'm assuming it's talking about the trading botnets set up by marketplace.tf and scrap.tf to run their websites and all the trades they service. Not sure though. Strange normal weapons. Right after the gunmetal update, most unboxed strange weapons have the normal yellow variant. They are now worth extra. Alongside this bug was a universal killstreak kit bug, which are now ungodly expensive because people want to apply them to their hats. That way they don't have to buy every killstreak weapon they use, and there's only currently one of these professional killstreak kits available on the Steam market, and it's going for 1,800 bucks. I don't know if that's actual their value or if that's just they're trying to overprice it. Low violence. In certain countries, there is or was a setting enabled called low violence that removed most of the gore by changing these commands. Killing sentries as the scout. I can't find anything about this. I believe it has something to do with old bugs using the Bonk atomic punch to kill sentries rather than just shooting sentries as a scout. Diamondback hidden accuracy penalty. Once again, can't find anything on this. I assume this has something to do with every revolver's spray pattern being completely different, and the Diamondback's is probably just worse than the stock revolver. Thanks, Spaghetti Code. Unusual duping groups. There have been unusual duping groups that hide duping bugs or cheese Steam support to dupe unusuals and make profit since unusuals became a thing. Pyro's Secret Diary. The Fireproof Secret Diary was an item you could get shortly before the original Pyro update in 2012 that added Pyrovision goggles, the squirt shot, and gave Pyro a Meet Thee trailer and more. After the Pyro update, this item was removed from players' inventories. However, if a player still had this item and waited to log in until after the 2 cities update, which was almost a year later, they retained it and it can now be used as a replacement for the spellbook. This item was rare even before they removed the item, and it's virtually non-existent now. I don't think I've ever seen one, and I keep an eye out for these sort of things. What is inside the intel? Probably more pictures of the scout's mom. Engineer PDA removal. The construction and destruction PDAs are useless. You can bind the commands to build and destroy buildings to hotkeys, skipping the weapon swap time, making them effectively useless or harmful to the player. I have a video on this, which I'll link at the top right. Crusader's crossbow, no headshot attribute. The Crusader's crossbow has an attribute that says no headshots on the item inspect screen. This is necessary because it used to fire Huntsman projectiles in really old TF2. So the TF2 team didn't want to confuse people, and that stat's still in the game to this day. Once again, we'd send a layer. Robots contain brains of dead mercs. I couldn't find anything on this. If you can find anything on this, leave a comment below. And there are 2 administrators. I'd assume this is some conspiracy theory again. Also couldn't find anything on this. It might just be one of these things that's made up by the Iceberg creator. But hey, if you know anything about this, comment below. PL_Cactus Canyon was a map being made by Valve that was never finished. It had a bug where you could jump off the side of the map to get under the map and build a sentry that spawn camps the blue team. Other than that, it was a pretty decent map that is fairly choky. Edge bug. This is a bug where the corner of your hitbox hits the corner of the hitbox of an edge behind you while you're moving forward. This will then propel you forward and slow your descent. It is very difficult to pull off. It exists though. Taunting Israelis. All I can find on this is the thread by the creator of this iceberg. He responded to comments about it with just a smile. 2 fort blackboards. Can't find any explanation for this one. Heavy weapons girl. There have been a lot of fem mods over the years, of which heavy has gotten the least of which. Still plenty of fan art though. Meet your match update, intentionally bad. The meet your match update is objectively one of the worst updates of all time. Matchmaking in TF2 is significantly slower than quick play, and when this update was released, if you got in a match within an hour, you were lucky. On top of that, many of the weapon changes were the worst in TF2's history. So this theory is saying that it was bad on purpose. Maybe some TF2 developer wanted to kill the game. Maybe the Overwatch team hacked in and tampered with the update. Decloak sound range. Each invisibility watch has a decloak sound range. Specifically, the cloak and dagger and stock watch is technically infinite, but the sound drops off due to range instead of having a cutoff. So if you had really sensitive hearing and it was dead quiet, you should be able to hear them decloak from their spawn all the way over at your spawn. Another little tidbit of information, Spy makes footsteps while walking around invisible. So if you're playing against good players, invisibility is practically worthless. Resupply locker hitbox disjointing. If you shoot the resupply locker in the right spots enough, it glitches the locker and uses the textures for all the bullet holes and blood splatters. Apparently this can happen with certain other objects in game as well, although I have no idea how to perform the bug on other objects. Frag grenades. Frag grenades are a scrapped weapon meant for the soldier. Soldier can also taunt kill with a grenade by using the equalizer or escape plan's kamikaze taunt. Heavy rollouts. Eat the buffalo steak sandwich and use the gloves of running urgently to perform a heavy rollout. These are OP and thus these weapons are banned in community competitive. Fempyro is a man. This is just a meme making fun of the pyro is a girl theory. It theorizes that Fempyro is a guy. Sentry guns use aimbot. Sentry guns can't really miss with bullets in game if the engineer isn't using a Wrangler or the target isn't behind an object. This is why Scout's trailer is a lie. 24/7 Hydro. Back in really old TF2, there were quite a few community 24/7 Hydro servers. Hydro is regarded by much of the community as the worst official map, so it gets memed now. Random spread can be calculated. Random spread can't be calculated. This is a meme making fun of people who try to defend RNG aspects of the game and pretends they know something we don't. Overwatch is TF3. Overwatch is the 3rd installment of the Team Fortress series according to this theory. Not much else to say. Interp manipulation. By using the command CL_interp followed by a value, you can manipulate your interp, which gives you symptoms similar to that of high ping. Using the Huntsman or any of the spies' knives, this can be used to the player's advantage because of the game's spaghetti code. This will cause the spy to front stab instead of backstab, and the huntsman will headshot someone who is anywhere within 5,000 miles of the arrow. Short circuit time travel. I couldn't find anything on this, probably a meme made up by the Iceberg creator. 10th class tombstone. The civilian was supposed to be the 10th class. The harvest event map has a tombstone that says rip the 10th class. Consistently pausing at the exact frame spy gets shot and meet the spy. This just results in this picture. This is adding a little bit of a creepypasta to the face, similar to the Bloody Mary story that all the little kids tell each other in school. Down a layer again. Banny is cheating. Banny is a captain of Froyotech and a popular TF2 streamer and YouTuber. Froyotech is the best TF2 team, which has won pretty much every TF2 tournament since forever. This theory is that he's always been a cheater who hides it well. Neon Annihilator uses real electricity. Well, yeah, duh. It runs on a computer, so duh, it's using real electricity. And so does every other weapon in the game for that matter. RD_asteroid is another unfinished map that is space themed. It has a lot of cool features, enough so that people have said it deserves its own game mode even. For instance, it has lasers that will kill you if you don't jump over them correctly, and it also has robots. These robots have got to be killed to collect points with this weird game mode. Australium wrench trading rings. I have no idea what this is referring to, and Google doesn't give me anything. If you know what it is, comment below. Painted cow manglers. These are extremely rare and expensive. They used to change the color of the cow mangler's projectile, and they still change its team colors. After an update, cow manglers were paintable for about 5 minutes, and during this time, these cow manglers came into existence. It wouldn't be incorrect to say one with the correct paint is likely worth thousands of keys or at least hundreds of keys. Cloaked spies aren't invisible. This obviously means something else than my explanation, but research comes up with nothing. A spy's teammates can still see them while they are cloaked, so I believe this theory is saying it's not invisibility and instead some sort of mind distorting device. I have no idea. TACOBOT-AUSTRALIUM farming. TACOBOT, despite its name, is a group of normal players, not bots. They are very serious about MVM and kick noobs in the last wave if they played poorly for the match. Casual bots are Valve employees. The bots Ruin and Casual are hosted by Valve employees in this theory. For what reason? Who knows? It could also mean that the regular Valve bots are just Valve employees and they never coded bots. I don't know. TF2 beta voice actors. There are a few voice lines still in the game files from characters that were likely cut from the game. This post talks about 2 unused calls for medic. You can reflect hit scan. Just a meme, you can only reflect projectiles. Or maybe that's just what pyro mains want us to think. Random crit at will. This is again, just a meme, but there actually was a way to do this with the gunslinger in the olden days. For some reason, the gunslinger would count hits, and after every 3 non-crits, the 4th would be a guaranteed crit, if I remember correctly. You could also punch your teammates for the ones that aren't guaranteed, thus random critting at will. GIBUS increases crit chance. Free-to-plays have had the rug over our eyes for a millennia. This is the reason Jose Gonzalez 2007 is always killing us. Buildings are players. Once again, another meme. I believe this is saying a player is controlling every building even though they're just bots. Pain sounds are real. Someone must have been stabbing the voice actors, I guess, because this is saying the pain sounds are real. TF2 based on real events. Once again, another meme made by the Iceberg creator. Teleporters are time machines. Another meme made by the Iceberg creator. Mercs don't respawn. This theory is that none of the mercenaries respawn. There are tons of mercenaries that we are sending to their final doom. Heavy double jump. As a server owner with SV_cheats1 enabled on your server, if you are playing as heavy, you can type add cond 72 in console to give yourself double jump. Down a layer again. JB_Rothschild_V6. This was an incredibly popular community map in old TF2 days, and it has no trace left of it, so it's kind of creepy. UBERCHARGE locking. Couldn't find anything on this with a basic Google search. I believe it's referring to old bugs that gave the player infinite UBERCHARGE. Robin Walker doppelgangers. Robin Walker is one of the main people responsible for creating TF2. This theory says that he has doppelgangers, so maybe somewhere along the lines he was killed off and replaced. least? Who knows? LMAOBOX funded by the Vatican. Couldn't find anything on this, likely also a meme made up by the Iceberg creator. Honestly though, if this were true, I wouldn't even be surprised. The amount of extremely illegal and unethical things the Vatican has been confirmed to have their hand in is absurd. Demo is not black. TF2 never left the invasion beta. Another meme made up by the Iceberg creator. CIA free-to-plays, another meme made by the Iceberg creator. The theory that the CIA has infiltrated TF2 disguised as free-to-plays. Solemn vow headshots. I couldn't find anything on this. I assume it's another meme made by the Iceberg creator. Miss Pauling is a spy. Turns out the spy has been disguised as Miss Pauling all along. Man, he's tricky. Universal Strangifier. This one might actually be real. I found this Steam market listing where a Strangifier with no picture or name on it sold for $200 last November. Might be unusable. Can't find any other info on it. Killing the idle blue bots on Thunder Mountain. In the first map of Thunder Mountain behind Blue Spawn, there are some merc NPCs. They can't be shot, so I'd imagine this is another meme made by the Iceberg creator, as could be referring to something else entirely too. I don't know. Gunboats are a placebo. This theory says that gunboats are a placebo, so basically saying they don't do anything. Once again, a meme made up by the Iceberg creator. Source 1.5. Once again, can't find anything. More memes from the Iceberg creator. Dragon's Fury lag metagaming. Another meme made by the Iceberg creator. Dragon's Fury is so bad, it could never be meta. So no matter what non-existent bug it's talking about here, you make it out to have, it's just not going to be good still, and this is just BS. MVM Hivemind, another meme by the Iceberg creator. F-Stop. Supposedly, F-Stop was a game in development at Valve that was discarded that was supposed to be a prequel to Portal. Not certain what this has to do with TF2. Australian-based life forms. In the TF2 comics, Greyman is extending his life using Australium. By this theory, there may be Australian-based life forms due to its life-giving properties. Gmod snuff films. Once again, has nothing to do with TF2. This proposes that there is snuff pornography made with Gmod. For those of you who don't know, snuff is where one partner kills the other in the middle of sex act. Unusual deletion. This theorizes that you unlock something special for deleting an unusual. What do people that delete unusuals know that we don't? CL_drawHUD666. Another meme by the Iceberg creator. Draw HUD is only 0 or 1. This puts the beast number in because it's spooky. Down a layer again. Mario_Kart is a real location. The map Mario_Kart is an incredibly popular community map with many versions. This theorizes that it's a real life location. Vintage Tyroline. This is a meme about the vintage Tyroline. The hat's name is Vintage Tyroline, so ones that were present when all items were turned vintage became vintage Tyrolines. This goes one further beyond with 3 vintages. Scout can still equip the nail gun. Another meme made by the Iceberg creator, theorizing that Scout can still equip his unreleased beta weapon, the nail gun. Demo won the war. Many players know about the more recent Pyro versus Heavy war that decided that the Pyro got an update and that the Heavy is going to be left behind forever. A long time ago, there was another war between Soldier and Demo where Soldier won. This theorizes that the Demo was the actual winner. Dust Bowl games are live footage. Another meme by the Iceberg creator. Dude, he's going insane by this point. CTF_Harvest. This is a community-made CTF map based on Harvest. Hardly worthy of being under the iceberg. Bonk recipe. Water, radiation, and sugar. Really healthy stuff. Valve closed down in 2008. This is the Iceberg creator trying to spawn a creepypasta about how Valve closed in 2008. Empty servers. Does a tree fall in the forest if no one is there to hear it? Crate depression denial. The crate depression was a recent bug where certain old crates were guaranteed to give unusuals for 1 day. Crate openers got to keep the first unusual they unboxed as tradable and the rest as untradeable. Some players denied there was ever a bug. Mad milk is not male reproductive liquid. It's obviously femboy breast milk. I mean, come on guys. Pyroland is the real world. What more can I say? This explains itself. Every map is Hydro. Also explains itself. Teleporters are cloning machines. I believe this is a theory that came up from Star Trek, that teleporters just perfectly clone their users and vaporize the original. Creators.tf is a P-word ring. Once again, a theory stating exactly as it says. And that's all. If you liked this video, like and subscribe for more.